Feeling stuck with the same boring rhythm patterns? No sweat. I've helped piano players like you discover that mastering just two simple dotted quarter note rhythms instantly adds that irresistible bounce to everything you play. And by the end of this video, you'll confidently play both patterns and even improvise your own rhythmic variation. Dotted notes are simply a way of extending how long we hold notes without having to remember even more symbols. So let me show you how different these two dotted quarter note patterns actually sound. First, here's Tangos at Dawn. It's very dramatic and mysterious. And here's Thunder on the Horizon with some hopeful anticipation. Pretty different feels, right? Both pieces, by the way, are available on my website. The link is in the description if you'd like to explore them further. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Rosemary. I've been teaching for over 20 years and composing imaginative piano music for nearly as long here at Must Love Music. So you've already seen dotted half notes in earlier level pieces. But now with dotted quarter notes, we're getting into the fun rhythms that create syncopation and extra musical interest. There are a couple ways to understand how long a dotted note lasts, and since we all learn differently, just choose the method that clicks for you. Method 1. This is for those who like math. Think of it as the number of beats of the original note plus half that value. So, if a quarter note gets 1 beat and an eighth note gets half a beat, that equals 1.5 beats for a dotted quarter note. And this is the way it's usually explained. It was the way it was explained to me, and I'll admit it's the way that I explained it to my students for many, many years. Method 2, less math, but you do need to know your note types. Each note either doubles or halves compared to the next note type in the sequence. So this is what it looks like in 4/4 time. If we have a whole note, it's 4 beats. Half note is 2 beats, or half that value. Quarter note is 1 beat, and an eighth note is half a beat. Now, a dot after any note equals 3 of the next smallest note value. So if I want a dotted quarter note, I know that I have a dot after the quarter note. It's going to be 3 eighth notes. So a dotted quarter note equals the same length as 3 eighth notes. Now, growing up, I definitely would have preferred the second explanation with a lot less counting involved. Now, as an adult, either approach works for me, so experiment and see what feels natural. When I realized this halving thing, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I wish I'd known this decades ago. And if this seems too simple and you've already mastered dotted quarter notes, check out my video on dotted eighth notes with tied notes for the next challenge, and it should be right here. But I'd recommend staying for the improvisation that we're doing later in this video. The first pattern is a dotted quarter note to eighth note. Now, this is the most common at your level and gives that iconic syncopated feel that you hear everywhere in music, and it looks like this. All right, so let's use Tangos at Dawn as our example. This is a simplified version of the classic tango pattern. I'm going to start on B, and I'm just going to play a chord, a broken chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to leave it there. Here's my favorite method, and I promise you'll never forget it once you hear it. So instead of counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you're going to sing or say purple jello, purple jello. Now, at the end there, I've got a little extra note, but you can definitely hear that purple jello. By the way, I'm not going to attempt to sing that. We had a lot of events over the weekend, and my voice is not going to hold up to that. So you can sing it if you want. The purple, that portion is exactly that dotted quarter to eighth note pattern that I showed you at the beginning there. And our last two notes are quarter notes. So we start with a dotted rhythm before moving back on beat. And I do this all the time when I'm playing complex tango music because it's much easier than trying to count out all those ands. So let me teach you the first little bit using purple jello. Here we go. So we're going to start on B. Here's my middle C right here. So I'm going a little bit low. So notice I'm just outlining my B minor chord. And then here, I'm going to go down. So I'm stepping down. Let's try that together. So B minor chord, bulgello, per, bulgello. Now let's go into an A minor chord, per, bulgello, per, bulgello. And down to G major, per, bulgello, per, bulgello. Changes here, F sharp, G, E, F sharp. And this right here, that typical, oh my goodness, very tango-like. Here's your turn. Pause the video and try playing per bulgello. And don't worry about being perfect, just feel that bouncy rhythm. What happens when we swap those notes? The second pattern is an eighth note to dotted quarter note. It's less common at this level, but it creates a really cool change in the feel. You notice I crossed off our original one, and now we've got eighth note first and then a dotted quarter note. Now our example is going to be Thunder on the Horizon. And yes, this one has that classic rock vibe from the 80s. So if I play this where I'm counting out 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 then I need a deep breath. Now notice how the emphasis changes. And yes, I did that on purpose. The dotted quarter note creates stress on the half beat, giving it a completely different character. So just like before, you can use words to make this easier. I can use hello for this pattern, or in this case, I could even say hello, achoo, simply because we need 4 beats. And I think it would be really funny to say achoo after you sneeze. We've all been there. Let's try this out together. We're going to start off with the outside of an A chord, so an A bridge. So A, E, then we go A and then D, down to G, G, E, and then A, C sharp. We'll do that once together. So we go hello, achoo, hello, achoo, hello, achoo, hello, achoo. All right, so try this pattern now. Pause, go ahead and say hello, achoo, and just feel how different the emphasis feels under your fingers when you compare it to the per bulgello. In my online studio, you learn to create your own music from day one at your own personalized pace. My neurodivergent-friendly teaching approach is designed to be accessible and inclusive, celebrating diverse learning styles through improvisation and composition. Ready to explore lessons that help you create music your own way? Visit mustlovemusicpianostudio.ca or scan this QR code to book your meet and greet. So now for the fun part, let's improvise with these rhythms. We're going to use the melody notes from Thunder on the Horizon. So this is going to be A, B, C sharp, D, and E. Okay, so go ahead and find those on your piano. Let's do a little bit of improvisation with it. So first, let's try the per bulgello rhythm with these notes. So I might play something like per bulgello, per bulgello. Pause the video, explore this for yourself. Use any combination of those 5 notes with the per bulgello rhythm. And there's no wrong way of doing this. Then make sure you come on back. Now let's try this with the hello, achoo pattern. So I might do something like hello, achoo, hello, achoo, hello, achoo. And I decided to end on A. Again, pause and try this rhythm with your choice of notes and then come on back. So here's a question for you. Which of these 2 rhythm patterns felt easier for you to play? Let me know in the comments. This helps me understand what resonates with most of the piano players on this channel at your particular level. And also, I just really love hearing from you guys. If you want a real challenge, you can try switching between the 2 phrases. It's trickier than it sounds, but it's incredibly satisfying when you get it flowing. So I'm going to try it out and we will see how this goes. Purple jello, hello. Before we wrap up, if this lesson helped you understand dotted quarter note rhythms, please hit that like button and subscribe for more piano techniques that actually make sense. And then share this with any piano friends who are struggling with rhythm. They'll thank you for it. Fantastic job mastering these 2 dotted note rhythms. Remember those smooth hand position techniques we covered last week allowed you to tackle these syncopated rhythms with confidence. Solid hand movement is the secret to making complex rhythms feel natural. And next week, we're exploring chord playing patterns that'll expand your toolkit even further. Thanks and happy playing.